In just 2 days, whispers turned to panic as reports claim 47 American billionaires are scrambling to escape, moving their fortunes offshore, a sum greater than the GDP of most countries. Billionaires including Bezos, Musk, Gates, and Buffett are reportedly moving at once. Is this the early warning of economic collapse or media hysteria fueled by confidential filings and a 127% spike in relocation inquiries? The stakes are real, the evidence is murky, and the truth about America's 48-hour billionaire escape window starts now. Eduardo Saverin's name still echoes through Wall Street and Capitol Hill. In 2012, the Facebook co-founder quietly renounced his U.S. citizenship just before the company's IPO, sidestepping an estimated $700 million in taxes. That single act triggered outrage and congressional hearings, leading to the HART Act in 2008, a law designed to make sure wealthy Americans pay an exit tax if they leave. Fast forward to today. Whispers of a billionaire exodus swirl, but sorting rumor from reality starts with the numbers. Henley & Partners, a global citizenship advisory firm, reports a 127% jump in inquiries from Americans with $10 million or more in the last quarter alone. The destinations topping their lists are the United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Portugal, and Switzerland. Each offers either zero or sharply reduced taxes and the promise of privacy. Official figures from the U.S. Treasury show 6,705 Americans gave up their citizenship in 2023, more than double the year before. Most are not billionaires, but the upward trend is clear. Then there is the so-called 47 billionaire leak. No credible filings, no SEC alerts, and no public evidence support the claim that nearly $850 billion moved offshore in a 2-day window. A prominent wealth manager says that ultra-high net worth clients are accelerating mobility plans, but they do not panic. They move when the signals say move. For now, the data points to a surge in interest and a steady rise in departures. Not a stampede, but a growing line at the exit. Tax proposals now dominate every conversation among America's wealthiest. The anxiety is not abstract. In France, a wealth tax called the ISF pushed an estimated 45,000 high net worth individuals to leave the country between 1982 and 2017, draining as much as 120 billion euros in capital. French economists called it a fiscal own goal. The US now debates its own version. On the table, a 25% minimum tax on unrealized gains for those worth over $100 million, a 2 to 3% annual wealth tax on assets above $50 million, and an exit tax that could jump from 23.8% to 40% for anyone trying to leave. Mark-to-market taxation would mean paying taxes on stock gains every year, whether or not a single share is sold. Policy economists warn the numbers are staggering. The Penn-Wharton budget model forecasts $2.5 to $3 trillion in new revenue over the next decade if these measures pass. But it also flags a possible $850 billion in capital flight as the ultra-wealthy look for the exits. IRS data shows billionaires currently pay an average effective tax rate of just 8.2% compared to 25% for typical workers. The debate is fierce. Progressive lawmakers argue billionaires pay less than their secretaries. It's time to close the gap. Conservative experts counter, taxing unrealized gains is unconstitutional and will drive away the very people who build companies and create jobs. As these proposals circulate in Congress, billionaires and their advisors are not waiting to see which side wins. They are preparing for the worst-case scenario, mapping out legal escape routes before any law is signed. The United States stands nearly alone in taxing its citizens, no matter where they live, a system shared only with Eritrea. For the ultra-wealthy, the exit is not as simple as booking a one-way flight. The Internal Revenue Code, specifically Section 877A, lays out the rules. Anyone with a net worth above $2 million or an average annual tax bill over $190,000 for the past 5 years faces what is known as the exit tax. The law treats their entire portfolio, stocks, real estate, even private companies, as if it were sold the day before citizenship is renounced, triggering a capital gains tax at the top rate, currently 23.8%. A tax attorney describes the process as a legal sprint against the clock. First, the 183-day rule comes into play. To qualify for residency in a new country, a billionaire must spend at least half the year there before cutting ties with the United States. Next, assets are often shifted to trusts or foundations in neutral jurisdictions, creating a firewall between the Internal Revenue Service and future gains. The law also has a long reach. For 10 years after expatriation, the Internal Revenue Service can still tax United States source income, keeping former citizens tethered to their old obligations. Even Boris Johnson, who left the United States as a child, found himself paying the exit tax decades later when he gave up his United States passport while serving as London mayor. For those seeking the door, every day counts. The rules are clear, but the window to act before new laws take effect is paper thin. A world map of opportunity now beckons the ultra-wealthy, each country offering its own blend of incentives and escape hatches. Monaco set the template back in 1869, abolishing income tax to lure European fortunes to its rocky coastline. In the 2000s, Dubai transformed oil wealth into a magnet for global capital, offering 0% tax and a golden visa for as little as $275,000 in property investment. The United Arab Emirates has welcomed 68 new billionaire residents since 2019, up from just 12 a few years prior. Singapore, once a sleepy port, now boasts 1,650 family offices, managing $4 trillion, with 35 new billionaires arriving in 2023 alone. Its 22% top income tax and a 0% capital gains rate, paired with a streamlined family office scheme, make it a favorite for tech and finance moguls. Portugal's Golden Visa and non-habitual resident program, offering a decade of zero tax on foreign income for a €500,000 investment, has drawn a steady stream of Americans, though the window is closing as the program phases out. Switzerland's lump sum taxation, negotiated one-on-one with cantonal authorities, remains a draw for those seeking privacy and predictability. Citizenship by investment has become a $30 billion global industry, with advisors like Henley and Partners orchestrating these moves. The incentives are clear, low or no taxes, legal certainty, and a fast track to residency. For billionaires, the world is not a closed door, but a series of open invitations. When the world's wealthiest decide to leave, the numbers ripple far beyond tax forms. The United Kingdom's experience in the 1960s offers a warning. High taxes sent top earners abroad, draining talent and shrinking the tax base. In the United States, 813 billionaires are responsible for roughly $120 billion in federal tax payments each year. If even a fraction were to exit, Treasury officials estimate an annual loss of $3 to $5 billion in revenue. That is only the start. Billionaire philanthropy underwrites medical research, universities, and local charities, mega gifts that often trigger matching funds and anchor entire sectors. The average billionaire is 67, with succession plans already shifting assets and sometimes headquarters overseas. As one policy economist puts it, the real cost is not just what is lost today, but what never gets built tomorrow. Behavioral economists studying high net worth migration point to a stubborn reality: most threats of mass flight never materialize. In 1993, President Clinton raised top income taxes, sparking dire predictions, yet the wealthy stayed put. Today, hard data shows that even among those who leave, nearly 40% return within 5 years. The practical hurdles are real: uprooting families, risking business ties, and trading American legal protections for uncertain benefits abroad. Many so-called exits are little more than paperwork, shifting tax domicile, while keeping homes and companies in the U.S. Offshore havens promise low taxes, but come with their own risks: crime, political instability, and less reliable healthcare. For many billionaires, the calculus is as much about comfort and continuity as it is about tax rates. The constitutional battle over taxing the ultra-wealthy now lands in the courts. The 16th Amendment, ratified in 1913, gave Congress the power to tax income without dividing it among the states. But a pure wealth tax, an annual charge on net assets, faces a wall: the direct tax clause. Supreme Court cases from Pollock in 1895 to Moore in 2024 draw a sharp line between taxing income and taxing property itself. Most legal scholars say a 2 to 3% wealth tax would be struck down as a direct tax, requiring impossible apportionment. Unrealized gains taxes, charging for stock appreciation before it is sold, stand on shakier ground after Moore, where the majority limited Congress's reach to realized income. The OECD pushes for a global minimum tax on individuals by 2025, and the United States fee to renounce citizenship has soared above $7,500. As AI tools close loopholes, the legal and political fight over who pays and who can leave intensifies. Billionaire flight may grab headlines, but the reality is quieter. The rules of global wealth are shifting beneath everyone's feet. As politicians debate and billionaires hedge their bets, the real test is whether trust in the system survives. What would you do with your own 48-hour window?